So I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say what everyone else is thinking. Threesomes are overrated.
Okay.
That's it.
Why are they overrated?
I was just thinking about it.
And that's the intro.
That's the intro. That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Well, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking about it, and like, I mean, obviously, porn like sheds a different light on sex,
Mm-hmm.
and you like it makes you think that like, oh, I'm gonna have.
Go ahead, Andy.
I don't even.
You're gonna have what?
I'm gonna have sex with my stepmom and my stepsister. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But in reality, like, I'm wondering like how many people are actually into that. Like, you'd be better off. You'd be.
How many people actually want to fuck their?
No. Like what I mean is like how many women, or just anyone in general. I think you'd be better, or you'd find it easier to fuck two dudes and have a threesome.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa. Okay. Hold on. Are you saying how many people are actually into the idea of threesome, or you mean porn?
No. Okay. So.
And then also, you went to a completely wild place, by the way, of being like, it'd be way easier to fuck dudes anyway.
Yeah, because dudes, like, you ask any dude, like any single dude, or I mean maybe even a dude that's in a relationship. I actually have a story, and I think I may have mentioned this to you, and I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to say who it is, but I think I may have told you this story before. I have a friend who was in. He was on vacation somewhere with a group of people, and they just casually brought up like, what if we have a foursome? It was like two couples, him and his wife, and then his wife, this other.
I think I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. So like that's where it led to like single people, but then there's also like married couples.
I can't remember. Did they end up doing it?
No,
Pussies.
The thing that I brought up to him, because he asked me, like, he's like, I need to talk to you about something. and I said the thing that would be weird, like, I don't know how I would go on from that, because I think I would feel weird, like, looking over and seeing my significant other getting plowed.
Yeah.
Or my roommate.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah. I think that would be a little mind fucky for sure. Mm-hmm. Like that would be. Yeah, I don't think.
Because like, what if in this situation, you're like balls deep and you're like, this is really good. This is better than I've ever had, and then you're like, oh my god, that sounds awful for me to say. Or on the opposite end. What if
they're having the same exact thought, just in reverse?
Yeah, and it's like, are we with the right people? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Weird. Yeah, and about probably 9 out of 10 times, not a good combination to do. Not a good thing at all.
I can imagine having a foursome with like someone that you're friends with. That's like borderline. Like that's ready to ruin a relationship. I feel like with this conversation, people are going to start thinking we're going to have a foursome.
I don't think that's but I mean, I get what you're saying. And I actually knew somebody who they got, what was it? It was, he got offered from a girl that said, hey, me and my boyfriend want somebody else to join in on this. Do you want to join in?
So like a spit roast kind of thing.
Pretty much. Yeah. And he was like, are you serious? And I think he ended up doing it. And he was like, you just get in and do what you need to do. He's like, you just don't look.
Did he say if it was enjoyable or not?
Well, that's what I mean. He said he just got in and did his business.
See, that's how I feel like.
So
in a situation where, and going back to, you're more likely to find three dudes that just want to bang each other, because I think it's easier to find dudes that are into it than it is find girls. And I think the majority of the time it's usually going to be two girls, one guy.
Well,
or that's the ideal scenario. I would assume.
But that's just it. Like, I don't. You're thinking of it as You're thinking of it as if you asked a single guy, he'd be like, "Of course I'm into it." If you asked another single guy, he'd be like, "Oh my god, of course I'm into it." That's 3 straight males.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know, but I'm just saying
That's the issue there, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you ask any dude, gay, straight, whatever you are, they're gonna probably say, "Yeah, let's do this thing." But if you ask like straight or gay women, it's a toss-up.
No, it's more work for them, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if it's only one of them, for sure, like they gotta go through like. I would assume that even like just as a woman, like that, like it's not as appealing because you're just getting wrecked.
Yeah, from both ends, practically. I mean, depending on the position. Yeah, absolutely. This is a turn of events here.
Mm-hmm.
You did say that we would probably go off the rail. You know, we usually don't talk about what we're going to talk about beforehand, and that's the same. We didn't do that today, but you really said we could go off the rails on this one, and
I didn't. I've been thinking about this for a couple days, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna intro. I'm gonna start the podcast like this. I'm just going to throw it. I was hoping that you'd be taking a sip and you would just like you'd fall over, like you would just be like, oh my god, I wasn't ready for that.
I mean, this definitely wasn't in my.
It wasn't in my notes.
in my thought bank. No, of what we would talk about today. That's for certain.
Well, so Shayna actually. Or your roommate, I should say.
Which we should also talk about that.
Yeah.
She hates. hates that we
finally,
do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She finally listened, by the way, which is the most absurd part.
Mm-hmm.
That she just now got to listen to him. So I think the only reason, and you know, like, I understand why she hates it, but I think the most reasonable thing to do
is to keep doing it.
Is absolutely keep doing it for sure. Yeah.
Well,
but what were we saying about my roommate? She mentioned something to you?
She said a couple weeks ago that I'm just what did she say? I'm unhinged.
Yeah.
And I think
she also said that you were trying to fuck me too. Do you remember her saying that? She's like, this is my husband. Don't stop trying to do that.
No.
That's usually a common thing she says to you, though. Because when we're usually talking on PlayStation, we usually say something that sounds somewhat sexual, and she's like, "Fuck off, Andy."
Oh, it was.
It's my husband. Don't do that.
Yeah. What was it? It was something
it could
about.
Be anything.
Oh. Well, this was whenever she texted us and was talking about the podcast, she didn't even mention the roommate thing until you brought it up. She said something about one of the horror movies that we. What was it?
Yeah, so, it was literally what she was just talking to us
I know it was,
about.
and I was about to tell her, like, I still have no idea what that movie is.
It was The Psycho.
Yeah, I still don't know what Psycho is.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Well, yeah, I know that now.
It was a horror movie.
Yeah.
But apparently Jamie Lee Curtis's mom in it.
Yeah, and she said that, and I just, like, there was no connection for me. I just was like, I still never saw it. Like you telling me who's in it doesn't help me.
That's just so funny to me.
It's like someone who's never seen like Breaking Bad. Like
yeah,
Bryan Cranston's in it. Like,
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, them saying that Bryan Cranston's in it, you're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What is?
I don't know who Jamie Lee Curtis's mom is. Yeah. I know who Jamie Lee Curtis is, but I don't know who the fuck Jamie Lee Curtis's mom is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's the girl in Psycho.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She's the one in the bathroom, apparently. Yeah. That's the other thing. It's like, don't you know? It's like the one in the bathroom. Like the only bathroom scene that I know of is from
Psycho.
Yeah, from Psycho. You're right. I'm not even gonna move away from this. It just whatever.
No, I mean the bathroom scene that she's talking about though is literally the scene though, like where like they rip back the curtain and then the girl goes and then it just goes and then it goes into the drain and it's red blood into the drain.
You know, I'm maybe I might know. Like, I feel like there's probably been some parodies done of it
Oh,
that
for
I've probably
sure.
like.
For
That's probably where I know
sure.
it from.
Yeah.
But the only bathroom scene I can think of is from what the fuck's that movie that I just watched with Jack Nicholson?
Shining?
Shining, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
where he's bursting through the door
like,
saying,
that's,
"Here's Johnny."
Yeah, when you say the bathroom scene, like that's what I think of. I feel like I don't know. It's just like that's what I think of. But
That makes sense.
heck, what was the where were we? We were headed somewhere with talking about your roommate, and she was so she was mad at us about that we didn't know that, and then you said thanks roomie, and that's where it spiraled.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that she was yelling at me through the mic on PlayStation was because she said we're not allowed to go ghost hunting.
Yes.
So that's what it was.
Yes.
So and then I said,
Yes.
well, she said you're not living here anymore, and you can go live with Andy. And I said, you hear that, Isaac? We can play Dark Souls whenever we
Yes.
want.
Yeah, which then, of course, just to egg it on even more, I then repeated to her of what you said, and then that pissed her off. And so then she said something back to you about that, which then you had another comeback to that response, and then she got even more pissed. And I was like, God, my roommate's gonna hate us by the end of this. Like it was bad. I mean, it's funny though.
Yeah,
Super funny.
it's one of those few moments in my friendship with your roommate where I had the clap back every single time.
Yes.
And when that happens, it's just like you have to just sit back and be like, this is awesome. I feel good about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You have like a perfect comeback to everything. It just works.
Mm-hmm.
It just works every time.
And I bet Threesomes have a lot of comebacks too.
They have a lot, I'm sure. I'm sure there's probably a lot of comebacks and come faces, if I can think about it. Probably a lot of God, poor women. They're just taking a beating.
They are.
They're just taking an absolute
Yeah.
beating. Now you got me.
Would you be disappointed if
Somebody told me that they had a threesome?
No, if let's say let's just put it into a hypothetical. You aren't with your roommate. Just to make this less weird. You're just with like person A, and you in person A, or you convince them. They're like, I really want to try this, and they say, okay, I like let me ask some people, and they come back to you with a dude. How are you reacting?
So
I think it depends on how long it takes. Because like if
yeah,
they
if they
come
last
back and they're
longer
like,
than me, then I'm pissed.
they come back with it and they're just like, I know this guy named Devin who definitely would be into it, and you're like, you answered way too quick. I don't know if I'm into it anymore.
Yeah. I was like, that was way too
Or
quick.
if it's like
Devin character came out of nowhere.
I've been wanting to try this, and and then she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. I know someone. Like, he's on my speed dial.
Yeah, see, then I would be like, I don't like where this is going. I think this has been in the works before.
Mm.
Yeah, but see, now I just realized something though. There's a double standard going on here, Andy.
Yeah.
There's a major one. Because and I'm actually calling myself out. I'm guilty of thinking of this. But if there was a threesome happening and it was a guy with two girls,
Mm-hmm.
that man is being praised
By his friends.
Absolutely. If it's a girl and two guys, we just said earlier, oh, that poor girl.
Mm-hmm. But we're saying that I am curious what her friends would
That's
be.
what I mean. They could be like, this girl's a fucking god.
Mm-hmm.
Just took down two guys.
Which most certainly she would be taking them down. Like, it would not be like you get in that situation, like it's like a fucking battle in Dark Souls.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I mean. There's a double standard going on here.
Right.
For sure.
But that's why I think it's overrated. That's why I think that and here we go again. Porn, I think, is just like painted a bad light of it. Like no one wants to. Like I feel like the situation never just comes up of like, yeah, I just want to bang these two people.
Yeah, no, porn definitely does lots of weird stuff.
And I think what needs to happen, and I feel like we've talked about
we need to go back to traditional values. Fuck through a sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even kiss. Don't even look at each other. One person stare at the wall this way, the other person stare at the wall the other way.
Exactly. Or you can do the Mormon thing and just soak. You heard of that?
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is I think more.
What about the one where what people have been doing for people to get around the not having sex? They'll have a person lay on the bed and they'll have another person lay on top of that person. And I'm not joking here. And what they'll have is they'll have somebody jump on the bed. So then it's simulating. So it's simulating that like they might be having sex. Yeah.
So, but
what about that? Is that an option?
But when you,
God, that's a threesome. Fuck.
But is the person jumping on the bed naked? Because I mean, I think
no. Everyone's fully clothed.
So you're just like, wait, they're under the sheet, you said, or they're just
no.
laying
This one,
down?
they're in this scenario that I'm painting in my head right now
That I've not seen before.
that I've not seen before. I'm just me speaking out. They're fully clothed. Just one is laying on top of the other, preferably in the center of the bed, so then the person who's jumping can be straddling and then jumping. Yeah.
I think you may have mentioned this before. See where my confusion was. I thought that the people, like the one laying on the bed and the one standing, were both naked, and there was insertion. Nope. Because like once insertion happens, that's sex.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how they're getting around it, though.
Yeah.
Andy.
But that's at that point you're just messing up your genes.
I mean. Look, I'm going to say this sentence. Is it better to jizz than not to jizz?
That's a poem.
Yeah.
That's
to
like,
jizz or not to jizz. Yeah.
It is worse not to jizz than to live life without jizzing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So
I'm pretty sure that was said by like Machiavelli or something.
Yeah. Machiavelli. That sounds like a...
like the dude from Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say that sounds like a salad.
Machiavelli?
Yeah.
Are you not aware of who Machiavelli is?
No. We just had this discussion earlier that I'm not book smart.
That's true.
My vocabulary is very limited.
I mean, I'm going to butcher it. I know that he was just some sort of scholar during the time of Assassin's Creed.
You're doing a bang-up job so far.
Well, he was alive during Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, so it was...
This is not telling me if this is a real-life person or not.
It is, Niccolo Machiavelli. I think that's his name.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a real person. I just can't remember. Like, he was some sort of scholar.
But your references to a very famous video game franchise does not make it sound any more intelligent.
I understand that. I understand that. But see, the thing about the games that I've played, I feel like I've learned something from them. And whenever I played them, I thought, I'm going to figure out who this person is. It was the same thing with, like, did you play any of this? Yeah, you have. Like, the Borgia family, I was like, I wonder if these people are real. I'm pretty sure...
Yeah, they have a whole show about it called The Borgias.
What?
I think, right? I'm pretty positive that's a show.
Well,
it's either that or it's called The Tudors.
The people...
I think it's The Tudors.
Well, they existed. They're just, like, not to the extent of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the main villain in the games, or like the third game, he didn't exist. His name was Caesar, but Caesar was
known a lot of Caesars.
I think he was supposed to be like
that's
the actual
a salad.
Yeah, that is. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That goes full circle right there. Look at that. Yeah. So anyway, Threesomes.
Oh God, I was gonna say, we're gonna be back on Threesomes now. I think like, just like those people. I think I'm think I'm well spent on threesomes now.
I think we're. I was just throwing.
Actually, no, I take it back.
Okay.
I do have another thing. If you're the one guy, though, I mean, see, here I go again. If you're the one guy or one girl, you're putting in so much work by the end of it, and also one person's at least getting slighted.
Well, that is the biggest thing. That is
like
the biggest
one
thing.
person
I was thinking
gotta get
about it,
something.
and the thought of like, well, like there's got to be a situation where someone's like sitting out, and they're just watching it.
They're on the bench.
Yeah, they're
waiting
just
to
like,
get tagged in.
Yeah, they're like you're in the bedroom, and then the one person's just like sitting on the side of the bed, just like turning their head, just kind of like, I'm ready whenever you put me in, coach.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You really fucking the other person a lot later.
Yeah.
And that would be the thing, like you're with your, like, you know, in the hypothetical situation, I know somebody, and they're just going at it the whole entire time. You're like, I'm really looking to tag in here right now.
like, I'm ready whenever.
Yeah, right now I am flaccid. I am just.
And then whenever they're like, okay, you're good to go, and I'm just like, I've just been cucked the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're like, I'm gonna be shoving. I'm gonna be pushing rope. Yeah, I'm gonna be pushing rope into somebody right now. This is not what we want. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I think if somehow you could add another person in there, make it, you know.
So just do a foursome at that point.
Well,
Wow, you just get two couples together.
Yeah, yeah, just in the same room. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about it. But then you gotta worry about other people like moaning louder right beside you. And you're
Well,
like,
as I brought up
how do you just be dead silent?
earlier, I've been looking at the
Porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
All for research. It's okay. Hi, Mom.
I hope your mom's not listening to this episode. It's the worst episode.
I've been editing the shorts down, and there's one particular that I just edited that paints me in a very weird light.
Oh yes.
And it like very much connects, kind of makes this conversation make more sense once you hear that short.
Mm-hmm.
In the situation where, in this situation, the imagination is gone. You're already seeing it. Like you don't have to go out to a restaurant and look at these two people on a date and think, I wonder what's going on later tonight.
Yeah, you're right beside him.
Yeah, you're watching it. Like, I think, and then in that situation, you're like, well, I'm here. Like, I don't care now. Like, now I can see it.
I don't know. If I just witnessed somebody fucking chowing down on some crab rangoons and then just...
That's not where I thought you were going. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
What?
That's not
You gotta let me finish my sentence. And then he's chowing down on some box later after that. Like, I'm gonna be thinking twice about somebody, Andy. I'm sorry. Especially if it's just some random guy that you just lean over at dinner and you go, hey, want to go have sex in the same room with me as my wife? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be thinking something different.
I like the way you're manhandling those crabs.
Yeah, you know what? You're really down in those fucking oysters pretty fast over there. I like the cut of your jib, bud.
You can swallow that oyster real good.
Yeah.
I wonder what else you can swallow.
Yeah, exactly. You want to bang in a room with me? This just is.
Or you could have a hot threesome and a hot porta potty.
Oh my God, that's too much.
Yeah, we would never talk about that though.
No, that's way too. The amount of square footage in a porta potty is not designed for 3 people first. It's not even designed for 2 unless somebody's crawling in the hole. Okay.
You know, I want to know how many people have actually banged in a porta potty.
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you mean like a threesome?
No,
foursome?
just. I mean, if you're getting 4 people in there, they're stacking at that.
That's
point.
what I thought you meant.
It's
but
like someone's hanging on by like. There's nothing to hang onto, but like someone's sitting on someone's shoulders.
Oh yeah,
and
someone's poking out the top vent.
So yes, all you see is the head.
Yeah, Yeah.
Hey, nothing's going on in here.
It's like a cartoon where like they just squeeze their head through it, and
Yeah.
it's like bulging out of the sides and whatever. Yeah, like that's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I imagine the amount of people that have done it, it's probably an immense number. But the only reason that I think it's so high, concerts.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I've never been to a concert, so
Hold
I've
on. What do you mean you've never been to a concert?
never been to I've never been to a concert. I was supposed to go to a concert when I was in Wisconsin, but they canceled.
How have you never been to a concert?
It's just not my thing.
You don't know if it's not your thing because you haven't been to one, though.
But
That's like saying Cheez-Its are my favorite cracker because I haven't tried Cheez-Its before.
But I think a lot of people will say, like, this is my comparison. A lot of people don't like going to the movie theater because they can just watch the movie in their own home. Like, it's a totally different experience when you go to a theater. Am I right? Like, it's a huge screen. The surround sound is great. But you can just go home and watch it and, like, be okay.
Yes.
And then if you have a record player, you just put on whatever band that you want and just sit there, get high, and relax.
Okay. I agree. You got me there. But
Something about the environment. You're going to say that.
no. How many times have you watched a movie and you said, fuck, I wish I would have seen this in movies?
There have been a lot of times whenever I'm sitting there watching a movie and I'm thinking, man, I really wish I was a pirate right now.
That's not what I was thinking. But I think there's probably some music where you've listened to it and without even thinking, you've probably been like, damn, that'd be probably pretty good to hear in person. But it's one of those things, once you hear a live band, then you go, oh shit, I kind of want to hear the people I like sing now.
I think the only time I've really felt like I really feel like I missed out was the Billy Joel concert.
That was rad.
Yeah.
That was rad.
Yeah. And the whole reason why we didn't go to that was because we were planning on going to Wonderbus, which was I don't know if it's always Camp that headlines it, because Camp's from Columbus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were it made a big deal about them being the headline this year, and we were going to go to that because they had a whole bunch of other bands. There's a whole festival. Excuse me. My God. I'm going to have to do it again here. You ready for this? Yeah. Are you counting out?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to keep track.
I might have to again.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm...
Well, so it was a whole bunch of other bands at this festival. You can put your hand down.
No.
And we thought,
That's three for everyone listening.
We're just going to go, yeah. We're just going to go to that, and then we're planning on going to Wisconsin and seeing them in Minnesota as well, like a month later or something. So, like, that's going to be a lot of money to spend on concerts. And then we didn't end up going to Wonderbus, and I think Billy Joel is at the beginning of August, so and it was right before we were going on vacation, so it was like this would just be a lot in 1 week or whatever. But then, and we were just like, it's okay, we're gonna go to these other concerts. Didn't end up going to Wonderbus, and then like a week, maybe even less, Camp canceled the concert in Wisconsin or in Minnesota, which ended up being okay because we went and visited friends. And if we ended up going to the concert, it would have been, we get to Wisconsin, we stay the night, and then the next day we just drive 4 hours to this concert. And then from there we would have to go from Minnesota all the way back here because we were only there for a weekend.
Yeah.
So
it would have been a lot.
Yeah, it worked out, but yeah, I think that's my biggest, like, if I could have picked any concert, because I even was gonna go to a Kid Cudi concert when he was back in Cleveland.
Yeah, we talked about doing that.
And I I was just like, after a while, I was just like, I don't think this is like the concert I want to go to. Like I wasn't excited about it.
Yeah.
I was like, like I could go to this, but like, I feel like I could go to a better concert. And I'm not even trying to like make a good first concert kind of thing. Like I want to go to like a real memorable one. It's just like, I don't think it would be as enjoyable as it would have been when I was younger.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, the last concert that we just went to, me and my roommate, we went not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago or something. I can't remember.
Something like that.
And it was with a band that I've only heard her listen to, and so I was fully like, oh, it's gonna be a long night. Like this is gonna be a long one, and it ended up great show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know the two bands before them, and then the main band, I knew them, and everyone was great. One band, The Wildlife. Second band was the Bad Sons, which then I ended up realizing that I did know who they were. I just knew like two of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last band that headline was the band Camino. Great show.
Mm-hmm.
But that just goes to show, like, I had no interest in any of that music. Like, I shouldn't say that. I like the music genre. I don't dislike any music genre. It was just one of those bands where I'm like, I listened to it because she does, and still had a great time. Yeah. I did like just sit there and like not really move my head at all though, because I didn't know any of the songs, but good time.
Yeah.
Great time. So we need to get you to a concert.
I think
that's all I'm hearing.
I think I would enjoy smaller venue concerts. I think that's what I'm.
Hey, we're in Ohio, and we're the official Friendship Podcast of Ohio.
That's true.
And in Ohio, in Columbus, where we're located, it's a great small venue.
Is that where the band Camino was?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just right downtown Columbus, called Kemba. Great time.
Yeah.
Great time. Yeah.
And I actually do know the band Camino. I only know one song by them, but
you knew more than I did.
The one song that I've listened to is pretty decent. It's also a little poppy, like pop music kind of.
I gotcha.
And I'm just like, I have to, now that I've matured and gotten older, I can't listen to music that has too much like going on.
That's right. We have talked about that before.
So that's why
which makes me laugh.
I'm falling into the folk music kind of vibe, like almost like skirting on country. Occasionally.
Join me, Andy.
What, the country?
Country, yeah.
Well, but you like rap though. You also are like,
I'll listen to anything. You give me yodeling, I'll fucking listen to yodeling.
You will just occasionally be like, I just listened to all of Lil Wayne's discography.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, how?
And then right after that I'll be like, I found some like classic like country music right now. And
like I'm listening to fucking Chicken Fried right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go. Yeah, why not? Zach Brown Band, why not? Let's do it. But when I drink though, it's country. I want to listen to country.
I would fuck with that.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I'm on the side of classic country. I don't mind.
It's a good side to be on.
I don't mind new age country, but it's just not. It's not like when I think of country, I think of like riding in the truck with my dad, like down the road, and like the music he used to listen to, and like me always complaining of like, this is shit, and then I think about it, I'm like, it actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you think about the music that you listen to, and you're like,
man, this is shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There was a time when my dad started just like listening to whatever was on the radio. So like occasionally it would be like rap or something, and I think he didn't like rap, but he just liked having music on. And it was just like, I got in the car and like he would just change the radio and it'd be rap, and I'd be like, this isn't right. Like change the fucking radio, man. Put on some country. Like I don't care if it's bad.
It's just weird listening to it with you.
Yeah.
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 I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But see, my family, they never really listened to anything in particular. It was mostly country or classic rock. But even then, they would just hear me listening to like all the weirdest shit, and they would just be like, "It's him." I don't know, because there would be 1 second I'd be listening to some like rap song, and then next fucking song I'd be listening to Sweet Caroline, and then sitting there singing along to it, and they're like, "I don't understand what's going on."
My mom
always been like that.
Would always be like, she would hate whenever my brother or I would just be listening to like something like really like vulgar, like really vulgar rap, and she'd always say, "I don't like that." Like whenever she'd hear it, like the same like whenever we'd be playing like COD Zombies and Dempsey would just scream "Cough fucking boom," and she's like, "I don't like that," like same exact thing. But then as soon as we throw on like some sort of like classic rock or something, she's like, "This is nice.
Yeah,
this is good."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's then most of the songs are about like banging and doing drugs. This is nice.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of funny. They talk about like people saying like, "Oh, that's not nice," or like, "I don't, I wouldn't want to do that." Since it was been the the spooky season of Halloween, I've been watching different horror movies and whatnot. And one of them that I went back and started to rewatch was I watched the first Friday the 13th again. Mm-hmm. And as I was watching it, I was like naming what was happening. Like before it happened, I was like, "Oh man, this person's gonna get killed by this. This person's gonna do this." Mm-hmm. And Shayna was just like, "Why? Why are you doing this?" Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Like I just seen it so many times. Like I watched it with my dad so many times, and like my mom. I was like, I don't know. Just I can remember it. And she was like, "It's just wild that you were watching this when you were so young." And I just went, "Well, we were never told what to watch." So I was like, "Yeah, I was watching that like in elementary school." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, it's fine." And she's like, "That's not fine." I'm like, "No, it's totally fine." I was like, "I just looked away when there was boobs on the screen or if someone was having sex." And she goes, "No, that's not." I'm like, "No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I can watch people getting murdered. That's fine. But the people in the boobs and stuff, I couldn't see those.
Yeah,
I could not witness those." And she just could not wrap that around her mind. And I was like, whatever. I'll do the same things with my kids. And she was like, "No," just like the Ghost Adventuring. She was like, "Hard
Hell
fucking no." It's like, there's no way they're watching kids movies and that's it. I'm like, "Look, if it's on, it's on." And she's like, "No, it's not how it's gonna be."
I think that's how I watched the first Terminator.
Yeah. That's how I watched all of my movies for the first time. My dad was like, "Hey, you ever seen this movie before?" I was like,
"Hey, you ever seen this movie? It came out 10 years before you were born. You ever seen it?"
Yeah. Have you ever seen Predator? No. Fuck it, let's watch it. It's a great movie.
You just like crawling onto the couch and you're just like sitting there like, "Wow, this is a good movie."
Yeah, and then when scenes would come up and someone was naked, they'd be like, "Oh shit, you don't want to see that." And I'd be like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Grown-up stuff." And I'm like, "Makes sense." And then it would go back and then they'd just get fucking
and then someone
stabbed.
would get killed and then you're like, this isn't grown-up stuff.
And then I'd just be like, "Oh, whatever."
Yeah.
Never thought anything about it. Look at me.
Yeah, look at you now. Yeah, you're a functional adult.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I ran out of beer.
Yeah, I've run out of rum and Coke, and I'm kind of feeling it. There was a lot of rum in this.
Yes, there was. Andy filled that for the listeners. It's just a normal, I don't know, what you call that, a whiskey glass, right?
Yeah, whiskey rocks glass.
Yeah. He filled it up almost halfway full of rum. Yeah. And then proceeded to fill the rest of it with Coke. And he said, "Is this okay? Does this seem like a good amount?" And we were like, "You're fine."
A couple weeks ago, it was the first week that I had a full week of work since July. So I was just taking off. I was just taking off every Friday because I could do it. And I filled it up to probably about 3/4 because it was a Monday and I thought,
What time?
It was after work.
Okay. I was gonna say, God damn. It's a Monday morning, 8 o'clock.
Monday morning at 8:30, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna need this for the rest of the week. But yeah, I filled it up to like about 3/4 of the way, and I showed it to my roommate, and I said, "This is what a full week of work will do to me." And then I put just a little like splash of Coke in it. It was tough to get through.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
was all fucking liquor, you duns. God damn. Oh, God, just thinking about that gives me the fucking willies. Ugh. Oh, God. All right, Andy. Is that time? Do we wrap it up?
I think we can wrap it up. I think we want to try to keep them a little bit shorter since they've been a little longer recently.
Absolutely. And hopefully, I mean, for people who haven't been watching on the actual video, Andy and I have both been holding the mics the whole entire time. Usually we have them in a stand, so hopefully it's not a bunch of stuff, because I've realized that as I've been holding this mic, I'm a fidgeting mess.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've just been moving. I mean, I always move during these episodes because I just, ADHD, but like just...
Oh, you're finally saying that you have ADHD now?
Only when it benefits me.
Oh, yeah. Only
So
whenever I can use it to my advantage, yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right, absolutely. But I don't have it, so it's fine.
So don't gaslight me.
Yeah, they don't treat me differently.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Well, before we end it, I do have a couple PSAs to say.
Oh.
I don't know any of these. So by the time everyone's watching this, it'll already be into November. So I just want to say, all your significant others, fuck them, because it's no nut November, and you need to make it through, kings and queens, whoever's listening to this out there. So there's that one.
I was not expecting that. Go ahead.
And then
this is all you. I have no idea what you're going to say.
There's also No Shave November, which actually is a real thing for men's prostate cancer. I think it is.
So should we shave and then continue the rest of
the idea is to shave everything but a mustache.
Okay.
And then I think you grow it out, like the beard, for the whole month. But I'm not committing to that.
I might.
What people do is they donate to like different websites. So that's actually a really like a nice thing, that like a nice PSA for those that are listening. And then the third one, since we're friendship and stupidity, I figured I would plug our friend Mitch, his little dumb thing that he likes to do for November, or the thing that he likes to say is November. He calls it No Wipe November.
Oh.
So no wiping your ass for the whole month of November.
Yeah, just put it underneath your faucet and rainwater that.
Well,
bitch.
I told him I would use a bidet, and he said that's cheating. So you gotta
just get crusty.
You gotta sit in it, pig.
Gotta sit in your trough.
Yeah.
Ew. Fuck.
Well,
dude, could you imagine by the end of that month, your butt would be so crusty you couldn't even sit down?
No, you would probably have to take scissors to cut through, but you'd also have to get like a chisel. All right, with that,
yeah, please. Well, please.
We're gonna call it a day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.